Hey Mike, it's Colin. Yeah, I'm gonna have to ding you for about 15 minutes for $25 to do this. Fortunately, it's not something that's included with the template. So with these sort of extra things, yeah, I got to bill for my time, or I'd be doing working for free for everybody. But anyways, here's the solution I've come up with. So there's your thing, and I've actually moved it in the code, although it doesn't look like it in the page, but it has been moved. And what we have here is on scroll, it sort of has an opposite, because it already has a fade effect, right? So you can't change that, but boom, now it pops into place like so. I was going to say, you know what, I'm going to consider increasing the height of this just to take this into account. I think I'm going to bump it up to 85 pixels so we can move the logo down a little bit and this one down a little bit. So let me just fiddle with that first. Let's go with that one there, so that way the logo fits in just perfectly. I'm going to nudge it up. No, maybe just a small. If you ever need to tweak this back, it's right here, line 621. Height, let's go with 9090px. Okay, and then the logo, we can go with a 5 pixel margin right here on the top. And right up here I have these media queries. I'll explain these in a second, but let's just go with 12 pixels on the top for that. Okay, just so we can really fine-tune and place some things and make sure that we have all that. But now I've got a space up there. Where'd that come from? There we go. So anyways, I just fiddled around, so this is perfectly centered, this is perfectly centered, and now we have the buttons here. So boom, back to where it was. That's on normal, that's on scroll here. Now here is what I've done. I've said, okay, this is where it gets tricky. When you have something like this that is fixed to the top of the page, you can't just give it an arbitrary position and away you go. What you have to do is you have to target different media query settings, in other words, different page widths, and apply different actions at different viewport sizes. Let me resize to show you. I'm going to scale this up and down. Okay, see how it comes in here at certain resolution, then bam, it pops way out to the right. So for somebody who's on a resolution like whatever this is, like 1280 or something, that's what it's going to look like, right? But if you squeeze it in even more, it's going to have to come out all the way to the right. And of course we can fine tune it even more, and I'll do that for you right now just so you can actually go through the process with you. Okay, so here's our media queries right here, and we're basically saying at 992 have a 0 of right, and at 1340 have a 0 of 20. Well, now we can fiddle around and we can cut that in half, right? And say, okay, at 1170 have a right of 10. And you have to start with lowest to highest, okay, when you do this sort of thing. So we're going to go like that. And basically what we're going to do now is now you can really, and this is if your customer says, hey, I don't want to, what happens is when you're working with clients, a lot of times whatever they're looking at on their computer, whatever resolution, that's what they think the rest of the world is looking at too. So they may see, the request a quote, over on the right. So now we can fiddle around with it. You see here it's floating. We move it in, it comes in, and boom, as soon as it gets close to the number, it pops out a little bit. As soon as it gets close to the number, it pops out a little bit. But what we want to do is maybe just a little bit sooner than that. So that's where the media queries come in. And we're saying at 11, let's just go with 1200, 100 pixels. We want it to go 10% to the right. Okay, and this is when you're doing your own sites and stuff. This is really handy because bang, boom. See, it never gets close to the phone number. There we go, and then it pops in and just goes back to the normal menu system up here, right? And then there goes the menu all the way down to mobile like that. So there you go, and I will, and then boom, and out it goes. So I'll post that back up to the server. I'll fire, if you have any questions, great. I'll fire off a $25 invoice for you. Thanks, sir.